Hey you guys, Jacqueline here. I'm very sorry it's been a long time. Apparently I wasn't logged into my YouTube account. I didn't know you guys were writing to me with questions. I didn't know I had new followers. I checked the numbers. Pretty freaking cool that you guys are watching what I'm doing. I'm very grateful. I promise I'm always going to check to make sure I am logged into YouTube. This way, if I do get notifications, I can respond to your questions sooner rather than later. I hope I didn't mess up any of your training schedules or anything like that, make you nervous about training because I didn't answer a question. But I am here. I wrote down a few of the questions that you fabulous YouTubers have answered and or asked rather, and I'm here to answer them today. Guys, bear with me. I'm new to YouTube. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm sorry. I will get there. Anyways, my first question was from Lauren Danielle 100. She asked if I could go into depth about what we learned each week in training. I still have all of the materials from training saved in a notebook that's very ugly that sits on my bookshelf, but it's material that I hold dear to my heart, so I'm going to save it forever. So anyways, I did some research and I wrote down my answers because I cannot remember step by step everything that we learned each week. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of reading off the paper, but I guess here we go. Week 1, we had to learn our safety speech right away. I have mentioned that in a video before. It's basically the whole demonstration when you're demonstrating how to put on the oxygen masks, fasten your seatbelt, where the life vest is located, or if you're not in an overwater equipped plane, how to use your your safety cushion as a flotation device. So you had to learn that the first day, or recite it by the first day. That's the first thing we ever did in training. We also had to know all of the airport codes for the destinations that we fly to, even some that we don't fly to, that I'm hoping we do go to because we have some pretty good codes listed that I would be excited to go visit those cities. We also had to prove we understood military time because everything in the aviation world is based on military time. Week 1, we learned some of the different planes that we have in our fleet. So we did aircraft familiarization, so you had to know how many exits, how many people could be seated on a certain plane, the ratio of flight attendants to people, so how many flight attendants you would need to legally work that flight based on the number of passengers on the plane. And we also learned about where the emergency equipment is located, not necessarily how to use it yet, because you do that through the whole 4 weeks of training. So that's week 1 in a nutshell. And we also learned a ton about our company. We learned about our benefits, our payroll, how all of that works. So that'll be just company specific. The second week, we did flight management. So that is basically what each flight attendant's position is and when they are supposed to perform certain duties. It basically is start to finish if you're working a flight, which flight attendant does what at what time. Granted, we're all there to help each other. It's not cut and dry, you know, you're this certain flight attendant position, I'm not going to help you because that's not my job. It doesn't go like that. You just have to basically learn how and when flight attendants do what they do in order to make a flight operate smoothly. We also learned how to handle delays. There's a lot of legalities. We have to take care of passengers on the plane if they're stuck on the plane with us on the ground and the plane is not moving. We have to serve you, we have to feed you. You might be prisoners, but we're going to take pretty good care of you, basically. So you have to learn all the legalities for that, as well as customer service and then first aid training. So this goes into using the AED to performing CPR, the Heimlich, even though it's not called that. I always have to give that disclaimer. I just don't know what it's called, but that's what you do. Anyways, week 3, it's scary week 3, it was called. You go into emergency commands. So if the plane decides not to be flying anymore, you have to know how to handle what happens after that plane makes contact with whatever it's going to make contact with, assuming you're in a good position and you're fully capable of helping out at that point. So you have to cover evacuations, a lot more CPR, you get into like the gross bloody kind of stuff. You learn how to survive on land if you crash into the desert or if you ditch, which means the airplane plans to land in the water. You just learn how to survive in the elements. So Scary Week 3, it kind of is, but it's also really fascinating. That was my favorite part of class. I don't know. I just loved covering all of the plane crashes. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know. I just don't know. And then week 4 is basically a wrap-up. So you have a final. I think our final was like 350 questions. and then you had to do drills, so you had to show that you knew how to arm and disarm the doors properly. You had to scream your evacuation commands from memory, make sure you knew how to do all that. So it was this whole big recap. I know it's a lot of info in like 5 minutes that I've been talking to you about what we do, but that's what you could potentially look forward to in your training. I'm sure every airline is different, but we all need to cover the same sorts of things. Again, being a flight attendant doesn't mean that you serve food and beverages all day long. You're really there for the safety of the public. So I would imagine no matter what airline you're with, you basically cover the same sort of thing. So Lauren Danielle 100, I hope I answered your question. If not, again, put it in the comments. I'm really promise going to make sure that I'm looking this time. I also had a question from Phoenix Milan. Hi, Phoenix. You asked if there was any advice for the interview. And my advice is smile a ton. You're being watched the whole time. So if you go to the bathroom, smile while you're going to the bathroom. And also just be yourself, because your personality, your true personality is going to shine through. You can't fake your way. Either you're cut out to be a flight attendant or you're not. I mean, we deal with the general public. You have to have a lot of patience. People are crazy, like really crazy on the planes. So if that's something that you can handle, along with all of the training and safety information that's thrown your way and involved, you're going to do fine. But just smile, be yourself, have fun. It's a long day, the interviews, but it's a fun day. So I don't know. I don't know if you want anything more specific. Wear lipstick. People listen to you when you wear lipstick. Dress professional. Keep your hair in a ponytail. The flight attendant look. Wear pantyhose. Wear high heels. I don't know. Concealer under your eyes. Don't wear a ton of makeup. But just have fun with it. So that's it, guys. Let me know if you have more questions. See ya.